Hey guys, my name is Abhishek. Welcome to my first vlog. This is an attempt to bring awareness in people about nutrition. Although I'm no expert, but I've actually read a lot and done a lot of research, watched a lot of videos, and I've come across basic principles of nutrition which I would like to share with you guys today. If you like my channel, please hit the like button, subscribe for more important updates when it comes to nutrition and a disease-free life. So let me get straight to the point. The most important thing to keep yourself healthy, and I believe most of us are already aware as to what we need to eat and what not to be healthy, but it's really difficult to control our mind when it comes to foods of our choices, because those foods are tasty. And when we fool our tongue, when we trick our tongue with taste, it would want to get more of it. So that's pretty simple. However, we have to realize that food is a fuel for the body, right? It does not need to be tasty. When you eat it, it should give you energy. It should not make you feel drowsy. You feel like sleeping and you're out of energy. You don't want to work. You're getting lethargic, and that is the reality of our food today. So I am here in front of you, turned completely vegan. It's been 3 or 4 days. I mean, it has been a short journey as of now. But as I said, I've done a lot of research and I've realized that eating a plant-based diet and maybe some starch in the forms of legumes, rice and wheat is far better than eating a diet based on meat and dairy, because in the long run that would do more harm than good. So yeah, just gone through a haircut, and my wife did it for me. I'm not sure if it's looking good or not, but who cares, man? It's not about the hair itself. It's about keeping your body fit and healthy, and leading a disease-free life till eternity. I mean, until you are alive, and hopefully that'll be long, because life is beautiful, and everybody would want to enjoy it, and experience it. And that will only happen if you are physically and mentally fit. For that to happen, you do not need to run to a doctor to prescribe medication. Well, you could self-heal yourself. You just need to know the basic funda, you need to know the basic principles. So the one thing that I'd like to share with you guys today is dairy. Now, we've been made to believe since ages and since years that dairy is something that'll give us protein, that'll give us calcium, that'll keep us fit, healthy. And I mean, it is the basic. It's the basis of our nutrition. And we have been feeding our bodies with tons of dairy products, especially as Indians, because most of us are vegetarians or occasional non-vegetarians. And dairy is what fulfills our requirement for daily nutrition. So as far as my observation goes and the kind of research I've done, dairy is not meant for humans, because I mean, it is kind of a common sense. The milk of another mammal, and you are consuming it even after weaning. So can you imagine another mammal consuming your mother's milk? I mean, a human milk is made for humans, right? Likewise, the milk of a cow is for a calf. And the milk of horses, dogs are meant for their babies. It's not meant for any other creature's consumption. So that is one basic fact. I'm not talking about the misery the calf and the cow has to go through in order to produce milk that us humans can consume. Because I mean, you might just ignore it, thinking that, I mean, even if the cow is going through misery, the important thing is we are getting the nutrition, and that's all that matters, right? So I won't go there. I mean, you obviously know how the livestocks work and how the kind of conditions that we have for our cows, and a lot of oxytocin injections, steroids, so that the cows can produce a lot of milk, which is unnatural, right? So naturally the cow would produce milk which would be sufficient for her calf, but we inject the cows with a lot of injections and steroids, expecting a lot of milk because we have to feed a billion people who love to consume milk and milk products. And then the calf is taken away from her mom. She tries to run behind her calf. So I'm not trying to go into that part. I don't want to make you feel guilty of consuming milk by thinking that you're doing a bad thing to the cow or her calf, which you are. By the way, you are. But let's not go there. Let's talk about our nutrition, because the primary reason most of us are consuming dairy product is because we believe it will give us better health. But let me tell you, that's not the reason. When we consume milk, we unknowingly are consuming the hormones in the cow, which is excreted out in the form of the milk. The milk which is meant to be directly sucked by the calf, and you can imagine how unstable that product is. And then we take the milk, we need to pasteurize it, we warm it to higher degrees, and then we cool it off to ensure that there is no bacteria, because we know it's unnatural. We cannot have it without doing it, and that in turn kills all the natural good things that are present in the milk. Now you might think that where am I going to get the calcium, and where am I going to get the protein if I'm a vegetarian, if I don't eat dairy? There's nothing left. Well, calcium and protein is secondary, because calcium, of course, you can get it from a lot of plant-based foods. You know that. And it isn't a requirement of 1000 mg a day, which has been prescribed by a lot of doctors, because we are trying to popularize or to enhance the dairy industry, because that is what brings in the profit. It's a money game after all. Nobody gives a shit about your health. We have to be self-conscious, and we need to be cognizant of the fact that things that we are eating and consuming are helping us stay healthy. You might see that I'm losing a bit of weight in here. That's because all of a sudden I've just quit dairy, and certainly I will shed in some weight, which is pretty natural, but I'm 100% sure that I'll get back to my shape in a few days or maybe a month or so. That's not a big deal. I'm confident about it. So, well, I was talking about dairy, the hormones that she has been injected with, and these cows are kept pregnant. Naturally, when you're pregnant, you're weaning your calf, and then maybe you'll get pregnant. The cow would get pregnant after a certain time when it's natural for her. But since we are in need of milk every time, we have to feed tons of people out there, we'll keep injecting her with artificial insemination, ensuring that she keeps producing milk. And then those hormones and injections and the feeds the cow is taking, nothing is organic these days. It just gets into the milk, and then that's fed by us. We consume it. So all I'm saying is you might be able to have milk if it is in its natural form. So if you notice, a lot of people in villages also consume milk and seem to do pretty well with it. That is because they do not inject their cows with steroids and injections. They know that they have to consume it. It's all natural. She's producing milk for her calf, and there is that bit of extra milk that they consume. Although we're not meant to digest animal protein in any form, be it milk or be it meat. However, with evolution, our bodies have been able to cope up with a lot of strange situations, and this is one of them. So the mechanism of our body is extremely intelligent, and it knows what to absorb and what not to absorb, irrespective of what we have. Now, we're not having poison, we're having something that is nutritional, but for another mammal, and we're trying to consume it, and the body, being the intelligence that it has, is able to judge whether it needs to absorb it in entirety or just a part of it. And it just absorbs the part that it can, because it's difficult. It's only for the cow. And the remaining part goes as a waste or sits in your intestines, causing maybe constipation, and then it just runs into your bloodstream, causing cancer and bone diseases. Osteoporosis is a very common disease these days, and it's hard to believe for people who eat a lot of milk, curd, and cheese, still suffering from weak bone density. That shouldn't really happen, right? You're eating a lot of calcium and cow protein, but it still does. And that's because the protein and calcium is not absorbed by our body completely. It's not meant for us. So, you cannot assume that it'll be absorbed completely. So that is one thing, which is why I have decided that I will transform into a vegan. I know it's going to be a difficult journey, something that I've never embarked on. But that is, there's a way to live life, and I want to live a beautiful life. I just don't want to survive. We're not here for survival. God has intended us to be on this planet so that we are able to experience the beauty and the sorrows and the anger and the anxiety and the love and the care and everything that is around us. But we'll only be able to experience it if we are able to live in a natural way. Right now, I think most of us are into unnatural methods of living, and I hope that you become more aware, because when you become aware, you'd realize that there are certain things that God has created for your consumption, and there are certain things that He hasn't created for your consumption, but He's made our bodies in a manner, and we've evolved ourselves as the most intelligent species on the planet, that we can still consume it, and the ill effects of which will be felt in the later part. So you would not feel the ill effects or the side effects of things that are not meant for you in the short run, because, as I said, the bodies have adapted to certain things, but not completely. So if the thing is not completely digested, there's still some waste that is sitting in your intestines, which is then absorbed in the bloodstream, and then from there it is discharged to different organs of your body. And when your body organs and cells start receiving nutrients or unwanted waste, it'll behave in an abnormal manner, and then we ask, what is the reason for cancer? The reason is very simple. Stop eating unnatural stuff so that you can save yourself from all the deadly diseases that we have actually created for ourselves. There is no way on earth a person or a human needs to be carrying diseases after, say, 50 or 60 years of age. There is no such thing, but we have put it over here that no matter what happens, no matter how healthy we live, we are still going to suffer from blood pressure, diabetes, thyroid, other diseases, because those are age related. It's not age related. Have you seen the animals, the birds just doing their business, and no matter if it's old or young, they don't have diseases like osteoporosis, blood pressure, diabetes. We've created it for ourselves, and the sooner human beings realize it, the better it'll be for them. So I think I'm going to end this vlog here today. I hope I was able to give you some information which I hope was useful. I'll come up with more vlogs. This was just a spontaneous vlog. I just wanted to have a conversation, nothing penned, nothing planned. I just all of a sudden thought that I'll just bring out my thoughts on what I think nutrition is. I'm no expert. I'm trying to go as close to nature as possible, and I hope everybody does that, which would lead to a more habitable environment and bringing back the glory of our planet. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.